Hello. So now I'm going to talk about the Kalachakra in Tibet. So I started talking about that already, and how the tantric deity of Kalachakra was bestowed upon the grandson of Genghis Khan. Now, when you want to examine a car, you deconstruct it. You deconstruct it. You pick it apart. You take a car apart, you repair it, and then you put it back again. In university studies, we have to do the same thing. We have to study a phenomena, not like it is, like it appears as a finished form. We have to find out where it comes from, what the origin is, and how the phenomenon developed. So, Kalachakra was a philosophy which developed from far back. The first origins of the Kalachakra go very far back, and in the Kalachakra Tantra itself, it traces its origin back to Adam and Eve, practically to the beginning of creation. And it traces its origin back not strictly from Buddhism, or India, as all tantras do. It traces its origin back to Shambhala. So Shambhala is to the west of Tibet. So it's not the south of Tibet, which is India. But anyways, that's all in mythological terms. It's described in mythological terms, which to Western science is difficult to know, because Western science basically doesn't know anything. You know, Western science doesn't know about the origins of man, and doesn't know how long where man comes from, or anything. They change their version all the time. Like last year the first man came from I don't know where. They're always finding new places for the first man. They even change continents very often. Used to be from someplace. Now then it was Africa. You know, Lucy. They found the first bones they thought were Lucy, but now they're changing all the time. It's changing. Western science has no idea. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. They spout a lot of idiotic crap all the time, continuously, and they're idiots. But Kalachakra, one knows when Kalachakra was written. The books, we know when they were written. They were the early Kalachakra Tantra was before the 13th century, and in the 13th and 14th century, the big corpus of the Kalachakra was written. So that means that it's just after this Mongol king that Kalachakra, the books, was very much developed. So that means that this king, he personified Kalachakra, because he was bestowed this deity, and we know that. So that means that his life was under his rule, and the dynasty which came after him. It was under them that the Kalachakra was really developed. The book was developed. The Kalachakra, which we know today, was written at his time, at the time of his dynasty. Now, what did this king do? Well, this king did what Hinduism does. Hinduism does human sacrifice, kills people, and for that they go to heaven. You kill human beings and offer to the god, and you go to heaven for that. And what this king did was he did what Mongols do. You see, he was basically a bloody ruler, like Genghis Khan, killing lots of people. But at the same time, he had this Buddhist tantric deity which blessed him. So he incarnated this deity in a way. And it so happens, you can say it was bad luck for this tantric deity. This tantric deity was kind of taken off on a ride where you couldn't control it. I mean, the Tibetan lamas gave this deity, bestowed this deity upon this Mongol because they didn't have any choice. But the Tibetan lamas were vying and competing to try to get hold of these very powerful patrons. It was better to be on the Mongol's good side than to be on his bad side, because then he'd kill you. So so Kalachakra was instrumental in gaining this guy's power and affection, getting his affection and his approval and his protection. But he went off and did the biggest massacre in the history of humanity. Now, I don't have much time now, so I'm just going to describe this massacre. It's the sack of Baghdad. His brother, so this grandson of Genghis Khan had a brother called Monke. Monke was the head of the Mongol Empire, Monke Khan. And he told his brother Hulagu, so this famous Kalachakra Khan, Mongol Khan, was called Hulagu. And he said, you go to Baghdad and you destroy, you go to Iran and wipe out the tribes. They were the assassins, the assassin sect. Was in a mountain there, and they were terrorizing people who were traveling along the way. They were terrorizing the whole Arab lands, the assassins. So you had to wipe out the assassins and then move on to Baghdad and destroy Baghdad, destroy Baghdad. And so he got together the biggest army of the Mongol history, and he walked on Baghdad and he killed. Okay, so the numbers are that he killed between 100,000 people and 1 million, because the estimates vary a lot. But the high estimate is 1 million. He killed 1 million people in 1 week. So that's not a war. That's not like Genghis Khan killing people for 20 years, or Hitler killing 20 million, 50 million, or Stalin killing 20 million. Over 20 years. This was in 1 week. This is what's called, it's a different category. That's the category of the massacres. It's just non-stop. And defenseless people, he killed them. It's massacre. And he killed, so by modern numbers today, the world population has grown by 50-fold, 50 times more now. So you multiply, if you multiply 1 million by 50, that's 50 million in 1 week. Killed 50 million people in 1 week, if it were today. Or if it's 100,000, that's 5 million. 5 million people in 1 week. That's still, today we can't imagine it. That would be like the tsunami multiplied by 1,000. Imagine the tsunami in Thailand. Wiping out it would wipe out practically probably all the shorelines of the world. New York, well, 5 million people. So it's between 5 million and 50 million. This is the biggest massacre. If you look at Wikipedia at the biggest massacres of the world, this is the biggest massacre of the world. So Kalachakra did this in the person of this. Kalachakra blessed this massacre. So there's a killing there in the name of religion, and that's why Kalachakra is now partially rejected by Buddhism, but also venerated in a strange way, in an awesome, because it's a gory, bloody tantric deity, and the awesome of it is it's seen with awe by Buddhists, but it's kept carefully at arm's length because of this. It's hot potato, too hot to handle. But I haven't described the meaning of this massacre and the meaning of the sin of this massacre, and I have still not described who he killed. Who, why, when, and how. So that's kind of like the mystery. I know, I've studied this. I've studied this for 28 years. And the meaning of this massacre is what it's all about. It's what it's all about. Yep.